welcome back to this week's episode of AMA Friday with Amy Miller, Recruiting in Yoga Pants. So this is not a topic I ever thought I was going to talk about because I really didn't think it was that controversial, to be honest with you. What format should I upload my resume in? I want to kind of ground in why I didn't think this was important first, okay? Because this is apparently a big topic over on LinkedIn lately. There's been a lot of discussion. There's been a lot of people who have really kind of put a very clear stake in the ground and said, I think it's this, and I have no room for your facts, figures, data, or information. I just don't care. I'm telling you I want PDF, and that's. To which I say, speak for yourself, sir. Because it doesn't matter to me. But here's the thing. Job seekers see this stuff, and they see these comments and these posts on LinkedIn, and they're like, what the somebody make up your mind. Right? Like, it's just it's wild to me. So here's what I want you to do. As a job seeker, this is how I want you to approach this question, okay? I want you to first and foremost go to the careers site of the company that you want to apply to. I want you to not pass go, not collect $200, not hit the easy apply button, not go through Indeed or whatever. I want you to go directly to the source. Find the job that you want to apply to and follow the instructions. They are literally going to tell you, upload your resume as one of these versions, and they will tell you what they want. Okay? And most of them will happily accept either a Word version, .doc, or a PDF. It really doesn't matter for the most part. Here's where it matters. There's two reasons that this could impact your experience as an applicant and going through the process. Okay? Number one, parsing. Parsing is the fun trick that happens, or is supposed to happen, I should say, because let's face it, it doesn't always happen. This is what is supposed to happen when you upload your resume. It is supposed to be able to read the information from your resume and plug it into the proper fields. So your name should be in the name field, your city and state should be in city and state, your previous work history should be where it needs to go. That is what we call parsing, and that is the only automated feature that is almost always turned on in an ATS. Okay, there are knockout questions sometimes. There are different, things that recruiters can turn off and on and utilize or not utilize, but that's like the main thing that most ATSs try to do. It is also something that they do really badly. So, all those complaints we see about, well, I uploaded my resume and now I have to go spend 30 minutes typing everything in all over again. That is because parsing sucks. And again, some tools are great. Some tools have this figured out, others not so much. Your format can impact that. I've actually heard competing data points on this. I've had some people say, oh, this works way better with a Word version. I've had other people say, nope, not in my world. PDF is a lot nicer and cleaner and works better. I don't know, you guys. I mean, very honest with you. That's why I'm telling you, follow the instructions on the career site. And maybe if one is kind of goofy and not really working, maybe delete that attachment and upload the other version. So if you've tried it in Word and it's not parsing, it's not working out, maybe start over. I mean, look, it's up to you. I don't want you to spend any more time on this than you have to either, but there is conflicting data points and probably has a lot to do with the specific ATS on the back end that's going to determine how that parsing is going to go for you. Okay, so that's the one time it matters, is how does this ATS actually parse my attachment. The second time it matters is the company, this is more kind of anecdotal, so bear with me, but this is kind of what I've pieced together from talking to hundreds of recruiters about this. Does the company use Microsoft products? If they're an office shop and they're using Outlook and Word and, Office suite of tools and all of that kind of stuff, they are more likely to use and want Word docs. If it's Google, if it's a company, and a lot of kind of the startup-y, tech companies will use G Suite instead, they're going to want a PDF. Okay? Or a Google Doc. That works too, especially if you're Google. But they tend to shy away from the Word versions because it's just not, it is compatible. Like, you can open a Word doc in Google Docs, but sometimes the format can get a little wonky and things like that. So I know I've had this problem going from a PowerPoint to Google, whatever they call the PowerPoint. It's not Sheets, something else. I forgot already. I haven't been gone that long. Geez, y'all. This is weird. Anyway, so that's another time where there's maybe a minor impact. Again, this isn't enough to knock you out of consideration, but it's just one of those weird little things that we don't necessarily talk about. And so job seekers, without clear guidance, kind of start making up their own, this must be what's going on. It must be the robot. It must be this. It must be that. And so I just want to try to demystify that a little bit, put y'all at ease that the format carries about that much importance, and really the bulk of what you are trying to convey here and what you should be worried about is the content of the resume. We've talked about that 80 billion times, but I'll say it again next week too, because it's that important. So that is the formatting issue, Word versus PDF. Now, let's talk about what happens once it's uploaded. So again, it's going to parse or it's not going to parse. I can't control that. I can't tell you how that works. Okay. But you will have the opportunity to actually input the right information. You can move things around. You can clean up those fields, those kinds of things. It is entirely up to you how much you want to put into those fields. There's one specific reason why I would encourage you to, try to make it correct, right? One option, especially knowing that it's most likely going to be, a recruiter is just going to open the attachment and look at that. You may be inclined to just skip it. This doesn't really matter. My attachment's there. I don't really care if you have all the data about my previous job or whatever. That's fine. Skip it if you want. I personally don't care because I'm looking at your resume. However, there are some search functions on the back end that are searching the application fields. Okay? I think most recruiters will do a Boolean search against the attachments, which is your resume. But there are some ATSs and some recruiters that will leverage the actual applicant field filters. Location is one. So if I'm looking, I want to talk to every hardware engineer in the state of Washington. Okay, that may be a filter I'm gonna plug in my database. Maybe I'm looking for certain keywords. Maybe I'm looking for certain things. So that is an argument for making sure the application fields. I know that's not what you wanted to hear. Sorry, guys. But I think that's an argument for making that, as clean as possible, and just making sure that the important stuff is in there. Again, hopefully it's a quick copy paste. Ideally, the parsing function worked like it was supposed to. Again, hard to tell, but girl can dream. So that's an argument for, again, kind of making sure that is up to date. Other than that, y'all, format alone, the extension, the version that you've saved, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it, and don't let people freak you out. I get so pissed off when I see these just outrageous claims. 90% of your resume, I saw it 6 times today alone. 90% of your resumes never get past the ATS. What does that even mean? You don't get past the ATS. How would I make you an offer if you're just past it? So don't sweat the small stuff that is absolutely has nothing to do with the stuff that really matters. And the stuff that really matters is making sure that you are giving us the context about your skills, your abilities, and your fit for the job. That is what we care about most. Make sure that's on the resume. Try to get that input into the applicant fields as best you can. And we'll see you next week.